Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. How can you assess your value, your skills, your abilities of doing something, anything? By testing yourselves, by getting involved in that particular activity and see how good you perform. And after you get the result, you might understand where you what you lack and what you have, and you try to improve what you think you lacked, and then you try again, and then you try again. That's how you get better, by testing yourselves. That's how you improve yourselves. Now, you can't just say, let's say, I'm a good fighter, and I'm just doing, let's say, just punching the bag, I run very well, I'm very muscular, I have a good lungs and all that, maybe I do some other things too, but I never fight. Well, potentially, I could be a good fighter, because there's other things involved in a fight. It's how much you can take, the stress that you have, you're afraid or not. You know, there's certain things you freeze, then you test yourselves. Only then, if you start fighting, you're going to realize how good you are. And depending on your competition, how good the opponent is. If the opponent is a toddler, you're going to succeed, obviously. But the opponent is, I don't know, Mike Tyson in his prime, obviously you're going to find out how good you are. So the same thing is with the military, with the weapons, and with the troops in general. If you don't test them in real combat, then you don't know how good they are, how good they perform. But it depends on the toddler or the Mike Tyson that you face. If you face, let's say, Libya, or you face Iraq or Afghanistan, or you face, let's say, China, Russia, or big countries, United States of America, or France, or Germany, or Israel, or then you find out who you really are. So we have here Western weapons sent to Ukraine. Some that are obviously called fantastic, super, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Some of them were never tested in a real fight. Some of them were. Some of them were tested with the toddlers, not with Mike Tyson. Now they're in front of Mike Tyson. The Abrams tanks will be in front of Mike Tyson. We'll see how they perform against him, not against the toddler Iraq. Okay? No offense, but that's the reality. The same with the F-16s. Now they're going to face the Russian missiles and the Russian air defense and the Russian pilots and the MiG and the Sukhoi 35s and Sukhoi so on. I was about to say 29, MiG 29, the Sukhoi 30, I think. Anyway, so here you have it directly. That's why they fail sometimes, because they're not, you know, the Marder tanks, the whatever another tanks, Marder are the vehicles, the German vehicles, how do you call them, armored vehicles, and Leopard tanks. As I said, now it's Challengers, Challenger 2 tank. We find out that it sucks here and there. The Ukrainians had to add something to one, they say, minor spot, weak spot. It's a big spot. I will show you a video, and I will show you what the Ukrainians, how they modified the mighty Challenger 2 tank, because it was weak. Why? Didn't face the Russian missiles. So that's their defense system was not good enough. Let me show you this little article here, coming from Insider, Business Insider. Ukraine appears to modify the UK Challenger 2 battle tanks to protect a notorious weak spot. Reports say notorious now, but before this article, have you ever heard during this war that the Challenger 2 tanks that will be sent, were sent over there and are active in Ukraine have a weak spot? I haven't heard any. I haven't read, and I'm looking over the media at least 3 times a day. The whole freaking, I have a cycle, the whole cycle, about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm doing this kind of thing. I never read a title, oh, Challenger 2 tanks has a weak spot. Psst, they're the best, man. They're gonna fuck up the Russians. And when I'm gonna show you in this video, over there, when I'm gonna show you what the weak spot is, It's like you say, well, we're going to modify a little bit this car. We're going to add wheels to this car. That's how idiotic this weak spot is. The car needs wheels. So the car is so good, was fantastic, but didn't have wheels. Not one. So the Ukrainians have to add 4. The same here. The Ukrainians have to modify something that you were like, what? What? Let me show you. Ukraine is adding an extra piece of armor to its British Challenger 2 tanks to protect a weak spot. So that means they're incapable of defending themselves if the Russians attack them. That's the first one. So they're protecting themselves once they're hit. So that means they hitting the drones or the missiles, incoming missiles, that's not good enough. It's not going to do it. It's not going to cut it. They need protection because that's already violated. So the front of the tank's hull is less protected because it was designed for defensive combat. Now you're telling me that the car that you buy has only the how do you call that, rear drive? I don't know, you go back, how do you call it in English? Jeez, I can't find it. No, man. So Jesus, I'm a fucking retard. I have to I have to think about it. I'm really. So the gearbox doesn't have only a reverse shift. So you can't go forward. You go only backwards. That's how our design is, just for defensive. What do you mean for defensive? They didn't expect to be shot at, and besides, that's bullshit. I tell you why. Because if that would be the case, you wouldn't hear that they have to do only the front. They would have to do everything. And when you're protecting, right? When you're in defense, what do? You face that way. So this should be the most protected, and it's the weakest spot. Or maybe they were defending by running, and therefore they put everything in the back, or the armor in the back, because we're protecting. Oh, see you never. I think so. It's like the advance to the coast. Remember Churchill when he told his expeditionary troops, he said, advance to the coast. That means retreat to the coast, because the Germans were destroying them. Anyway, my friends, let me show you the video here. We have a video here with the tank, how these guys noticed that this tank has something in front of it. Let's see if we have it here. Look at its front. Did you see that? Or it was something that was hanging, but no, because I'm going to show you the picture of the main tank again. Look at the front. That hanging shit. This is the tank. You see over there? Something was added here. Something was added right in front of here. Because being a defensive tank, they expect to be hit only on the sides and in the back, not in the front. So this shoots only in the back, okay? You gotta be fucking kidding me, my friends. And these guys expect us to believe that garbage. Ukraine appears to have added extra armor to its British-made Challenger 2 to protect a weak spot on the 69-ton battle tank. A video shared on social media appears to show a Challenger 2 tank with a metal grate over the glacis, the sloped section at the front of the tank's hull, Forbes reported. While the tanks are well protected with Dorchester armor, which is a military expert previously told Insider is among the best in the world, they do have some vulnerability to attacks. No, that's not true. They have the armor. Why do you put the armor but they not put it right here? You face the guys here, don't you? Don't you face them, or you stay like ready to go and you shoot like boom, boom, and you fart, pss, 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 and then, oh, they're coming, let's go. Ooh, that's what they do. I guess, my friends. So again, garbage. But as I said, you test yourselves in the real action, in real life. The same with these guys. Oh, I'm a good fighter. Let's fight. Oh, I don't feel like right now. I haven't had headache. Shut up, Rob. Right? That's how it was when I was a kid, a boy, and younger. When you're about to fight, someone was talking smack, and you meet the guy. No, let's. Right now, no. I wear the good clothes. I don't want to. Fuck off. Boom, bam, bam, ba, ba, boom, and that's it. Talk shit again. The same with these guys. Can you believe that? I expected any piece of military to have its weaknesses, but this, no. To this magnitude, no. And the argument, the justification these guys gave me is retarded. I mean, if you buy it on your own risk, I'm not buying this. So again, I don't know what they expect to fight. People with slingshots, I guess, or with those kind of things, with, I guess, or bolt action, or the ones. Pum, pum. Wait. Boom. Basically, that's what Challenger expected, was designed for. All right. Thank you very much for being. I can go on and on with this garbage, man. It's really. When this reminds me of my father, when it was the Gulf War, whatever it was, the first one, I think when the Kuwait thing, and one of this, I know it was against Iraq, and he was watching TV or listening, I can't remember how it was, and he said, these guys use the same military technology they used, I think, in the Second World War. Tanks, airplanes, infantry, people, troops. Nothing that they talk about, lasers, this is the same. Like, maybe a little bit of here and there. He was not an expert, but he was in the military, because you had to go in the military mandatory draft. But it's just, anyway. Challenger, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.